playing Hoover. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Devin. You can call me Dev. Today we're going to be talking about my July TBR. As we know, June kind of sucked for me. I had a bit of a rough time, a bit of a challenging reading month, let's say. But I'm here to pick myself up in July. I have a feeling it's going to be a really good month, and I'm going to be very selfish with the books that I read. I am going for books that my heart desperately wants to read, rather than books that my brain is telling me I should read. Do you know what I mean about this? Do you ever feel like you need to read books that are more big brain energy, and sometimes you just want to read like a young adult, or you just want to read a romance? Like, I just want to relax and read my little spicy books and have a great time. That's what I feel like, and that is what July is going to be for me, with the exception of a few. So let's get started. The first book on my July TBR is actually The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Now, I am actually already reading this. I have started it at the start of the month, and I'm actually 128 pages through and seriously enjoying it so far. I don't know why it took me so long to pick up this book, because it has been just the most easy to read, fun, engaging book so far. So what is this book about? She came from nothing. Avery has a plan: keep her head down, work hard for a better future. Then an eccentric billionaire dies, leaving her almost his entire fortune, and no one, least of all Avery, knows why. They had everything. Now she must move into the mansion she's inherited. It's filled with secrets and codes, and the old man's surviving relatives, a family hell-bent on discovering why Avery got their money. Now there's only one rule: winner takes all. Soon she's caught in a deadly game that everyone in the strange family is playing. But just how far will they go to keep their fortune? I'm really looking forward to finishing this. And I'm actually thinking, depending on how the ending goes, that I might actually move on to the other books in the series. In the series, it is The Hawthorne Legacy is book number 2, and The Final Gambit is number 3. And I think I want to read them if I'm left on a big cliffhanger at the end of this. So they are also on my July to be read. The next book on my July TBR is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I think I might be the only person on the planet that has not read this so far. This has very quickly become a classic, and the time is now for me to read this. I'm a sucker for historical fiction. I really loved All the Light We Cannot See, and I really loved The Tattoo of Auschwitz. So I have a feeling I'm gonna really like this. It's gonna be challenging, it's gonna be emotional, but I think this is something that I've needed to read up until this point. But what is it about? It is 1939, Nazi Germany. The country is holding its breath. Death has never been busier, and it will become busier still. By her brother's graveside, Liesel's life is changed when she picks up an object, partially hidden in the snow. It is the grave digger's handbook, and it is her very first act of book thievery. So begins a love affair with books and words, as Liesel learns to read. Soon she is stealing books from Nazi book burnings, the mayor's wife's library, wherever there are books to be found. But these are dangerous times. When Liesel's foster family hides a Jewish fist fighter in their basement, Liesel's world is both opened up and closed down. Award-winning author Marcus Zusak has given us one of the most enduring stories of our time. Wow, I cannot wait to read this. The next book on my July TBR is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I don't know a lot about this book, but I literally one day sat down and Googled most emotional books ever written, and this was on the list because I want a tearjerker, and this is apparently what I've been asking for this whole time. What is this about? Lydia is dead, but they don't know this yet. So begins this exquisite novel about a Chinese-American family living in 1970s small-town Ohio. Lydia is the favorite child of Marilyn and James Lee, and her parents are determined that she will fulfill the dreams they were unable to pursue. But when Lydia's body is found in the local lake, the delicate balancing act that has been keeping the Lee family together is destroyed, tumbling them all into chaos. A profoundly moving story of secrets and longing. Everything I Never Told You is both a gripping page-turner and a sensitive family portrait about love, lies, and race. goosebumps. I feel like I'm really going to enjoy this. I think it's right up my alley, especially it being historical fiction. I think is really unique that it's set in the past but tackles a plot that could be at any time. I'm really excited for this. I think it's gonna be a challenge. I think emotionally it's gonna be a challenge, but I feel like it's going to be really rewarding at the end. So let's see how I go with this. Now, for anyone that watched my June TBR, you would be familiar with this book because it was on my June TBR and I did not get to it. And that book is Crying in H-Bar by Michelle Zauner. I am kicking myself that I didn't get to this in June, but June was just such a tough month reading wise for me, and I just didn't feel like I was in the right spirits to tackle this. I wanted to give it the right time, the right space, the right energy to read, where it didn't get lost in whatever reading mood I was in. I really hope I do get to this in July. I am on a library timeline with this, so I'm kind of pressured to read it or to return it. And I really hope I do read it and I don't return it. I feel like I'm really off-put by June and I'm a little bit apprehensive about stepping into this. I think I've been sideswept by other books I would prefer to read that are lighter, and I think there's other books that I'm more excited about reading because they're new in my brain. Whereas this has been sitting on my bookshelf for a little while and I'm a little bit off-put in a way. I don't know why, but I am. But I really hope I do read this.
Hello, editing Deb here. So about that, I returned it to the library and I have no regrets because, like I said at the start of the video, it is a me month, it is a selfish month. It just wasn't the right month for it. And I know I will get to it at some point in time when it feels right. And I've heard so many amazing things about it. And I didn't want to ruin it by my headspace of where I'm at this month. And where I'm at this month is reading things that are fun and that I'm really genuinely excited to read because I need that. After last month, I need that pick-me-up. And this book would have felt forced if I read it. So I returned it one day when I feel really motivated to pick it up again and to commit to it and to read it and to enjoy it. I will do that, but this is not the month and that is okay. Don't ever feel forced to read anything you do not need to read. Amen. Anyways, continue with the video.
Now, the next book on my July TBR is my next work book club book, which is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Now, this was voted on by everyone in my works book club. We were wanting to read a mystery crime thriller this month, and this was the title of choice. So, think you know the person you've married? Think again. Things have been wrong with Mr. and Mrs. Wright for a long time. That's really funny, actually, now that I'm reading that. Sorry, I'll continue. When Adam and Amelia went a weekend away to Scotland, it might be just what their marriage needs. Self-confessed workaholic and screenwriter Adam Wright has lived with face blindness his whole life. He can't recognize friends or family or even his own wife. Every anniversary, the couple exchange traditional gifts: paper, cotton, pottery, tin. And each year, Adam's wife writes him a letter that she never lets him read, until now. They both know this weekend will make or break their marriage, but they didn't randomly win this trip. One of them is lying, and someone doesn't want them to live happily ever after. 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secrets, and an anniversary they will never forget. Rock, Paper, Scissors is the latest exciting domestic thriller from the queen of the killer twist, New York Times bestselling author Alice Feeney. Ooh, spooky, mysterious. First impressions wise, I think this will be very dramatic, very emotional, lots of secrets, lots of surprises. It's kind of giving me the vibes of The Paris Apartment, where it's a person you're close with, but did you really know them? How well do you know them when you uncover all these secrets and all these things that you never knew? I think this will be a really fast-paced read, given that it is a mystery thriller. I can't wait to find out all the secrets. I want to know the goss. The next book on my July TBR is The Roommate by Rosie Danan. This has been on my TBR list for a very long time. It's one of those romances that kind of gets overshadowed by other romances, but I think this is exactly what I'll need in July. Something that is juicy, something that will keep me going, really fast to read, and that is just a bit of fun. I think that's what I need. July is going to be a fun month for me. So what's this book about? House rules. Do your own dishes, knock before entering the bathroom, never look up your roommate online. The Wheatons are infamous among the East Coast elite for their lack of impulse control, except for their daughter Clara. She is the consummate socialite, overachieving, well-mannered, predictable. But every Wheaton has their weakness. When Clara's childhood crush invites her to move cross-country, the offer is too much to resist. Unfortunately, it's also too good to be true. After a bait and switch, Clara finds herself sharing a lease with a charming stranger. Josh might be a bit too perceptive, not to mention handsome, for comfort, but there's a good chance he and Clara could have survived sharing a summer sublet if she hadn't looked him up on the internet. Once she learns how Josh has made a name for himself, Clara realizes living with him might make her Wheaton's most scandalous story yet. His professional prowess inspires her to take tackling the stigma against female desire into her own hands. They may not agree on much, but Josh and Clara both believe women deserve better sex. What they decide to do about it will change both of their lives, and if they're lucky, they'll help everyone else get lucky too. This one is a bit spicy. I'm a bit excited for this. I feel like it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be different, it's gonna be a bit risque, and I am ready for it. And that is it. That is everything on my July TBR. I've left it a little bit open in case the inheritance game leads me into a rabbit tunnel and I end up wanting to read The Hawthorne Legacy and book 3 as well. But I'm really hoping this month is a little bit more successful for me. I'm hoping I'm just gonna have a fun time, be completely selfish, and just enjoy myself. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, feel free to follow me on Goodreads. I update almost daily so you can see where I'm at with my reading in the month. You can also follow me on Instagram. I post mini reviews on my stories of each book I read throughout the month as well, so you can see before my wrap-up videos are out. And if you're not already, feel free to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.